Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Pylon Show. This is episode number 67, and it's a very special episode today. I have a bunch of Brood War pro gamers on, about to talk about Corrupted Cup and everything else kind of going on in the scene right now. It's going to be a great show, but first, let me quickly give a shout out to our sponsors, matcherino.com/The Pylon Show. Check it out. Our code this week is Applejack, which you can type in and it gives us free money. So do that. I've been informed that Applejack is not just a cereal, but a way to flavor things. We also have our Patreon, patreon.com/The Pylon Show. Of course, we could not do the show without this. Thank you, everyone, so much for your support there. Definitely check it out. And of course, if you want to ask questions at the end of the show, just go ahead to our Patreon, and then you will submit the questions on our website, thepylonshow.com. Anything you need about the Pylon Show there, whether it be VODs or our forum, which you'll get if you're a Patreon member, as it is in the beta phase. It's where you drop Q&A questions and everything as well. All of our show notes, basically everything, all the social media, all the places to get the show as a podcast, etc. So check it out, thepylonshow.com. Okay. Let's go ahead and introduce these guests. I'd like for each of you guys to just kind of say who you are and what you're all about, because I think a lot of people don't follow the Brood War scene, even though they absolutely should. Jayan, let's start with you. Who are you?
Yeah. All right. I'm Jayan. I am a StarCraft Mastered Zerg player. I stream on Twitch. I used to do like a fair amount of casting and coaching and stuff, but these days I've been a little bit busier, but just been competing in the tournaments these days, so that's about it.
Cool. And Ty, too, how about you?
Yes. I'm a Zerg player. I've been playing this game for over 8 years, since I was 12. And I've been, I am part of a Team Soul. I play in a lot of competitive tournaments. I'm considered a top, not to my own horn, but I'm considered top tier NA player, and I'm a multiple time champion,
Sure is.
Excellent. And Nyoken, how about you?
I am Nyoken. I've been playing since 1998. I have played in a lot of WCGs along with Artosis, and I was on the original Evil Geniuses Brood War squad, never transitioned into StarCraft 2, and now I am a player turned caster casting BSL.
Very cool. And Models, how about you?
Nice, Nyoken. I've been playing somewhere in between the length that Tai2 and Nyoken have been playing, so I don't really know when I started, but let's say like 2008, no, 2006. But yeah, I play Protoss, also the best race in StarCraft 1, if you're from StarCraft 2. It's imbalanced in both.
Yeah.
And yeah, I trying to kind of go along with like what Jayan said, is like playing mostly just tournaments and like not like 8 hours a day anymore. Trying not to.
All right. That's funny. I'm in the reverse boat there. I'm trying to play 8 hours a day. I just don't have the time. All right. We're going to jump through our show notes this week, which are only about Brood War, and then we will get into our topics, because you guys actually all just played a LAN, except for Nyoken, which I'm excited to talk about, as well as, of course, the Corrupted Cup, any other Brood War stuff you guys want to bring up, and the Patreon questions at the end. So let's jump into this week in StarCraft Brood War. First off, STPL is going on. Looks like Bull beat Clan Revolution 3-1. Well, it's good to see that Team Bull is doing more than taking my ladder points. I leave against them every single time. That lag. Oh my God. Congrats to them. You can check that over on the STPL Twitch channel. We also had Red 0-4 against Nas. Okay. And that's pretty one-sided. Again, over on Kix's channel. We also have a standing from the STPL. Looks like Soul is up in first place. Are you playing a lot of matches for them, Ty, too?
Yeah, well, not really actually in STPL, but BWCL, I play a lot of matches, but yeah.
Why aren't you playing STPL?
I'm just bad. So, I mean, it's mostly like the Koreans that, Fujikura, the clan leader, my manager, he has them on, generally that's secure to win. Generally, you know, top foreigners like me and Bonnet and, you know, other guys, you don't generally make it on STPL. But yeah,
Wow.
managerial, cutthroat.
Ouch.
Ouch, yeah.
All right. Well, sorry about that. Didn't want to open up that wound.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. The BSL Season 7 is continuing forward, and it looks to me like we have someone here today that's killing it in here. Jayan, you got top 2 in Group C with Boneth. How's this tournament? And tie 2?
Tie 2, yeah.
You're actually going against Boneth.
Yeah.
Guys, tell me about this tournament. What's going on?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, BSL is just one of those leagues that, I mean, it's basically the hope in the foreigner Brood War scene, where it kind of just gives, you know, like a formal standard, you know, tournament for people to, compete against. And it's kind of like, you know, the main tournament that people look towards for like results and whatnot. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun. I think I just got lucky to even get into the top 8, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, I've just been just happy with my results, and I hope I can get to the round of 4, but we'll see.
All right. What about you, Tai2? Are you going to take down Boneth?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take down. Oh, actually, it's so dicey. Actually, Bonet's a very talented player. I think it's gonna be very close. But you know, I mean, I gotta just try my best, I guess. You know.
All right. And Naokin, when you're casting that, right?
Yeah, so I cast BSL, tried to make it a little farther. I was in round of 24 and got eliminated. So a little disappointing, but yeah, I cast it. I think Jaden's got a good chance to make top 4. Tie 2, also good chance to beat Boneth. But look at this, Artos. Look at the bracket. There's only 1 Protoss.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with
no
that.
Protosses.
Well, it sounds like a better tournament to me that way. That is kind of weird, isn't it? Huh. Well, I guess once the best of 1 phase was all over, they got eliminated. Oh, well.
Yeah, I'm surprised that DeWalt didn't actually get in. He got knocked out by Terror, who played like a really crazy game. But DeWalt's usually the top 8 for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, guys, check out the BSL Season 7. When is the next airing of that, Naokin, if you know?
It's in 2 weeks. So October 19th and October 20th, because Rapid and you are going to Corrupted Cup next week. So they're taking a break.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, a lot of people from that tournament are going to be there. So, yeah, check out BSL when it comes back. Also, a Costa Rica Star League Season 1. Looks like there is a tournament running from August 12th to November 17th. You can check it out on twitch.tv/parabola_gaming. And it is an online tournament created in 2019 for Costa Rican players only. It's to motivate players to grow and learn while competing amongst themselves. All right, definitely check that out. The Brood War G's Weekly. Last scan. Oh, last scan. Is that Scan?
Yes, that's Scan.
Okay, I was like, I don't know anyone named Last Scan. How could he beat Boneth? Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Do you guys play in this one? The G's Weekly?
Occasionally, I have. Occasionally.
Yeah. I usually don't. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of. Is it early? What time?
Yeah, for Jae-Yoon, for you, it would start at like 4 a.m.
No, yeah, I never play that. Yeah,
because even on East Coast, it's like 7 or 8 a.m. I think. So yeah, it's a little bit early.
Well, looks like Scan wins. Scan coming back into the tournament scene more lately.
He's been playing a little bit more. He always says he always claims he's inactive, but he's always active.
Well, he's in the army, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he plays on his free time and stuff, but probably can't commit to it.
Well, he's been in the army a bit. Maybe it's almost over and it's time for him to come and take all that money from the tournaments you guys play. Oh, yeah. The Brood War G's Weekly is an online tournament. So check it out. It's on at 1600 Moscow time each week. All right. The Brood War People Radio Cup. It looks like, surprise, surprise, Flash won the tournament. This was a tournament held kind of a show match type thing with 4 invited Korean players, which were Bisu, Stork, Flash, and Zero, playing against 4 of the top Chinese players, Dugu Kui Bai, Zanhun, Jedi, and Mihu. All right. I actually don't know any of those guys, but it looks like the Koreans got the top 4 with Flash 4-0-0 in the finals. after 3-0ing Stork in the semifinals. Pretty good, huh? For him. Yeah, there's actually VODs of that on Team Liquid. I saw a thread that had some VODs someone uploaded to YouTube, so you can check that out. The New York City LAN #2, sponsored by the esport.fund, which seems to sponsor just about everything. October 19th. Any of you guys gonna head out to that one?
Yeah, I'm gonna be playing in that tournament.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And do you live out there, or do you live in California?
Or no, I live in Massachusetts, so.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
It's a little ways away.
Yeah, I'm also
Models, didn't you? Oh, you're
gonna
going?
try and make it to that. Are you going, Naokin?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I mean, there's no
Sick.
slots open like you said, but
Yeah.
I registered. Maybe something will open up, and even if something doesn't open up, I can always just cast Tai2 winning the whole thing, right?
That's weird that they fill up all the spots, because last time it got filled up as well, right?
Yeah, it's super unfair. I think it's like, because I mean, for my scenario specifically, I just haven't been online in like a week, and I'm like, oh, you miss out. So it's kind of weird. But
didn't you win the #1 New York
did.
City LAN?
I won the last one, yeah.
And they don't want the returning champion playing?
I think that's, I don't know, I think that's part of it. First it was Tai2, and now it seems like Tai2's trying to get me out.
Gotcha. Well, the New York City LAN, definitely check it out. If you're in the area, at least Tai2 and Naokin will be there, so a star-studded event to be sure. The Undermined podcast, this is about the bot scene within StarCraft Brood War. Episode #3 is up. They talk about the COG competition, the Brood War bugs, aid, and organizing AI tournaments in general. You can check that out on makingcomputerdothings.com. There's also the ASL map contest. ASL is hosting a map contest. You might be able to make a Brood War map and have it used in the ASL. You can check everything out on the Team Liquid forums. There's no cash prizes, but a lot of cool ASL gear. So if you are an aspiring map maker, definitely go check it out. Also, this week in Awesome, we have the BlizzCon virtual ticket is on sale. That will... Does that give us anything for StarCraft 1?
No, I looked at it.
Ouch.
It was going to be the first time I was going to be around to like buy something and get like a cool skin or something. So I got excited, and there's nothing. But it gives StarCraft 2 people some Brood War-ish stuff.
Yeah. A few Brood War skins, one for each race. So
yeah,
check that out, I guess. Also, the BlizzCon Phase 2 chest is unlocked. Phase 3 starts soon. And that is it for this week in Brood War. We're going to go ahead and jump into Cobra's clips real quick and then get started on what we want to talk about. That's random.
Okay, so it should be as fast as this attack now, right? Wow. Wow. It just doesn't stop shooting. It just constantly goes at it. It doesn't stop,
Wait for it.
dude.
Here we go.
Whoa, look at, you see that? Look at this. Look at this micro. This is the best micro. This is the greatest micro.
What?
He's skating his
Holy
Thor
shit.
around.
Pro skater Tony Hawk.
Is he sliding that while shooting?
Holy fuck.
Yep.
Look at this micro.
Huh.
This is the best micro.
New patch coming out in StarCraft 2.
Then we have the bomb mods. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we bring you the bombas. Yeah!
StarCraft.
I'm Shonko from Making Computer Do Things, and this is AI News for Gamers. First of all, the Student StarCraft AI Tournament broadcast 141 is out. You can watch it on the SSCIT YouTube channel. The Conference of Games, or COG for short, AI vs AI tournament results are out. 27 bots have participated, and you can download all the replays and sources of the bots. The amount of replays is huge, more than 6 GB in fact. Each bot played 40 matches against every other bot. There are also highlights and a detailed cross table available. This year's winner was Purple Wave by Dan Gamp, who is also a part of the Facebook StarCraft AI team. The next great tournament, for which a lot of bot authors have been holding back, is AIIDE, or Artificial Intelligence and Interactive Digital Entertainment Conference. It is ongoing as this video is released. We hope for a lot of great games and of course great replays. In the meantime, if you want to know more about StarCraft bots or even want to develop your own, don't hesitate to contact us. Every clip you just saw was by an AI written by a talented hobbyist. Thank you for watching and see you next time.
And that's it. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Cobra. And now we get to start the show proper. The LA LAN. There was just an Africa TV, I guess, sponsored tournament in Los Angeles. And 3 of you nerds just placed within the top 4. Ty 2, you won the tournament. Jae-Yoon, you got second place models. You got 4th, I believe, correct?
I did, correct.
So tell me about this tournament some. I mean, it seems like a ton of people showed up. It seems like it was a pretty successful one. What went down?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, I feel like the level of interest in like the Los Angeles like thread, like building up to it, was a lot higher. So I thought there would actually be more people. So there wasn't like a ton of people, but I think there were like what, 21, 22-ish contestants, I guess, and then maybe like a few extra who were just like watching. But it was awesome, man. I mean, like it was very professionally run. I mean, I didn't go to the New York LAN, but a lot of people told me that like, you know, it was just really well run. The people were very well staffed. They had like a ton of free drinks and snacks, and you know, they like the production quality was also awesome too. And so I had a lot of fun. It was honestly really great to see that they were hosting something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought, I agree with Jan, but I also want to add that I think the production quality of the place, of how the event was run, was just amazing. You had like tons of free snacks, tons of free sandwiches and sushi. There's a whole catering table, and there's a guy with the whole like soundboard just observing as well. So it was a really well done event. I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you flew out there, right?
Yeah, I did flew. I flew over 3,000 miles. It's a pretty long flight.
Yeah. In models, you flew out there as well. Don't you live in like Toronto or something?
Yeah, so it was a little further, but yeah, it was. But I made it. I was like, I didn't just go for that. I was trying. I'm still in LA. I was making like a little vacation out of it as well. So yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm looking at the bracket right now. If we could pull that up, one thing that really sticks out to me is the complete lack of Terran players. Could you guys explain that to me?
We were laughing about it when the tournament started.
There is one Terran player in the entire bracket, Surfer for Life.
He's a god.
He took out Michael. He took out Michael, dude.
I saw, yeah.
One base, 8 racks. And then he did the same to Foss right after.
Nice.
That's funny. Like I've lost it, like Surfer for Life on ladder once doing the same thing. Apparently, like he's been doing this one build for like his entire StarCraft career. And I guess
yeah, he's a 2 versus 2 player. So he has like, one time I played him on ladder and he did a defensive 2-fact, 1 base 2-fact against Protoss. Like didn't leave his ramp.
But I will make a correction though. You said there's 1 Terran, but for the fans, I played 2 games of Terran against Lumar, which was a TVZ, and then I played 3 games of TVZ against Lumar. Then I randomed against Tai 2, and I got Terran, although that game ended in less than 3 minutes. So I tried to kind of, inspire some, Terran folk out there, but, I didn't win.
Excellent. And I mean, it seems like there's a lot of tournaments starting to pop up in America. Why is that? Do you guys have any idea? I mean, it's awesome to see, but even back when Brood War seemed to be more popular when Nyoka and I were playing, it was so rare to get LAN events like this. What's going on?
Yeah, I think actually I wrote a little bit about it. I think it's a combination of like StarCraft Remastered, you know, rebuilding some of that, you know, hype, just like that nostalgia, just hitting at the right amounts, you know. You got some, and I think, you know, just people really having, you know, being settled in their adult lives. They have this sort of like, you know, income and interest to kind of like put, you know, some commitment into these events. I think it's also case by case basis, really, for some of these things. I mean, the organizers by far are the key part of this. You know, Trouble Swaggins, aka Jealous, was responsible for organizing NYC LAN 1 and starting NYC LAN 2. And, you know, organizing an event is not easy by any means. And, you know, you got the ball rolling. In the case of DreamHack Montreal, got Sham 2 with the connections. Big props to him. I want to say big thank you to him for connecting to Heyoka and Adabisi for setting that up. And I later took, you know, tried to help organize that, which, you know, was pretty good success. And LA LAN, that's just totally Africa. So it's this, that was totally Africa, you know, ASL, whatever. Yeah, it's these like organizers just kind of like popping up, you know, that are really, you know, are bringing all these events together. I think NYC LAN got the ball rolling to you know, inspire some of the, because after NYC LAN came up, $1,200 prize pool, then, you know, that's when people in LA wanted to host another LAN in the West Coast. So that's how all these like LANs come up one after the other, I think, you know. Yeah.
You know, as this increases and continues, are you guys going to travel more to them? Because I mean, Models and Tai 2, you guys are already traveling across or into new countries to play.
Yeah,
is it something that you can see as like a sustainable thing, or is it just I just really like this game? Like,
no, I mean, for me personally, I traveled to DreamHack Montreal, and I traveled to California to meet some really long time friends of mine who I've known for over 2 years since Remastered came out. So I wanted to make that trip over just to see them. Yeah, pretty much it.
Wait, who was that?
It was a Lumeyer, Faust, and
Lumeyer,
Baker,
okay.
Just.
Yeah, because I was gonna say half of those guys are East Coast guys.
Yeah. I mean,
and they all flew out too.
Yeah.
well,
it was fun though. Yeah, there were like 3 of them that I thought I was gonna be the only one that would show up that's not a local, but then Tai 2 and like a few others from like New York, around New York.
Most people were not local, to be honest. Like I don't know who was actually local aside from me. Like maybe 5 of us, 5, 6, I don't know. But most of the people were actually they flew in just for the LAN, so that was pretty awesome. But yeah, I mean, like, to your question, I think that, like, to be honest, if these prize pools are like worth it, then I would definitely make the trip out there, you know, if I can. And like, you know, I think it's awesome that these LANs are kind of popping out, and it kind of goes to show that there's still interest in a game. You know, we could say like, oh, Brood War's dead, like, yeah, like relatively, but I think the people who are in the community like really love, you know, the game so much that they're willing to put up money, they're willing to travel for it. And I think what I would really like to see is like, as these events continue to grow, like maybe some sort of coordination between events to like make, you know, like BSL and like Corrupted Cup are like, you know, a couple of examples that are really big. But even like from NA, like, you know, you've got people within NA willing to pay their own money to go to a tournament, right? Like, what if we had a larger scale tournament within NA, right? And like build that up over some time, and then had the final event, kind of like the Zotac Cup, you know what I mean? And as long as we kind of like put some more thought into it and just had some more collaboration, I think it's really possible, to be very honest. But I would definitely come out to these events.
Yeah, there's nothing more fun than a Brood War LAN. Like, truly, nothing in the entire universe. That is like what gets me going. Well, that's pretty awesome. Congrats to you guys for your great standing in the tournament overall. Was it worth the trip? based on how much money you made? Because I know the prize pool wasn't huge. It looks like a $800 prize pool total. So
no, but I wasn't planning. Like, even if I wasn't planning on, personally wasn't planning on that at all.
Yeah. It seems like even if you win this tournament, it does not pay for the trip.
No. I will say though, I was actually surprised, just to comment on it, that a lot of I think there were a couple maybe local like Koreans, because it's in Koreatown and at a PC cafe, and they had like posters everywhere. Like Africa really tried to get it going, it was really cool, like how much they pushed it. But like when we first showed up the night before, we went and played, and there were like a few guys like playing, like Korean guys playing fastest and whatnot, and I was like, oh, like why wouldn't they pay $10 and just like sign up for fun? But it seemed like a lot of them didn't. Like it was sort of just, I don't know, whoever knew about it from Team Liquid. It felt like, at least.
Yeah. Actually, like way back, before I even moved to Korea, there was 2 LANs in New Hampshire, and the first one, and I'm from New Hampshire, right? So a bunch of top players flew in, because it was like $1,500 prize pool. It was like that, and we had so few LANs. So a bunch of people flew in, and they all stayed at my house, and I drove them down to the LAN center, and a bunch of locals signed up. And so it was like this big tournament. It was really fun, but it was hilarious because the locals were like people who play at the LAN center and just like live in the town and stuff. And then they saw us play, and they were like, oh no, like one of my games, I rallied Marines on Talcross from my main base to his Nexus and killed him. It was like just one racks Marines. It just killed, because it's just people have never played. And then when the second tournament came up, none of them signed up ever again.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just top end players at that point. Everyone was like, no, I don't want to, I don't want to play those guys again. So
yeah, that's maybe.
All right. I think that's good for the LA LAN. Let's jump into Corrupted Cup and kind of review this tournament. Obviously, Corrupted Cup, this is the spiritual successor to WCG from the old days. No Koreans involved, just qualifiers from all over the world and everything. What are your guys' initial thoughts on Corrupted Cup before we like kind of review the groups and the players in it?
Where did the money come from?
Esport.fund. Yeah, I don't quite know.
Well, it seems that Russ Brain is just sponsoring the whole thing. From my understanding, he is basically Esport Fund. Like, he sponsors the G's weeklies. He's sponsoring NYC tournament.
Yeah, he's not the kind of guy you want to cross.
He's the single person just saving Brood War. Like, I mean, that's my understanding.
Well, it seems that way, but it's also he mentioned that if the Matcherino got up to $10,000, that it would be guaranteed for next year, and it actually crossed that like 3 or 4 days ago.
Yeah.
So there will be a Corrupted Cup next year as well. Yeah. Does this make you guys more motivated to keep playing, or?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think, like, to be honest, okay, well, I think when I was talking with this, with other NA folk, and because like a lot of people didn't actually even try to qualify, right? Because like people were a little bit like, the heck, like, are we gonna, it's just professionally run? It's like, are we gonna get stuck there? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of like reservations about it. You know what I mean? Like, and so a fair number of people actually didn't even try to qualify, kind of because of that. And I think that, and there was no real reason for that, because I think Russ Brain is an amazing organizer. He's organized the Moscow LAN, a lot of other things that were very, very successful. And I think like after people see how this Corrupted Cup goes, and like, wow, this is a legit LAN with a legit prize pool, with your flights like all paid for. And I think next year people are really, really, really going to try. Like, I think in the beginning, some people are a little bit like, I don't know if this is like a legit tournament. Like, I don't know if I want to fly over to Russia, but I think, with the way it's turning out, people are really starting to, respect the tournament. I'm also just saying, wow, this is the foreigner tournament to go to. And I was talking to Michael at LA LAN, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to try to come back for Corrupted Cup. So you guys get people who are coming out of, I guess, quote unquote retirement to just practice for this thing. So.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like WCG from the past.
Yeah.
Now, how do you think that this tournament lines up against the feelings of old WCG?
Well, they had, like you said, qualifiers all over the world. There was Russia, there was NA, South America, Europe. They had the World Tournament, which we have somebody from Vietnam qualifying for. So it is very similar to WCG, and it's going to be super stacked. Because if you look at the lineup, like, it doesn't get better than this. It's crazy how many good players are going to it. You have BSL winners going, top 4. Like, there's so many people that can actually win. It's going to be really exciting to see some of these players that are beast online actually play offline, because offline is completely different from online. In my experience, not that when I went to WCG I expected to win, but I had like nervous breakdowns, because you were there. I'm just like so sick to my stomach. So I'm hoping that, well, I don't want to see people play poorly, but it's going to be completely different than playing online. People that you don't expect to necessarily win may actually end up taking it.
Yeah, we'll definitely go into who we think could possibly win. Let's go ahead and throw the groups up on the screen right now. Before we start talking about the individual players and the groups overall, there was a very weird thing that occurred, a restriction statement for Tresha. It says, Andrei Tresha Sidorov restricted from participation in future tournaments for extortion attempt. Restriction valid until October 8th, 2029.
What? All my money's on Tresha to win.
Well, you are screwed now, and he is a random player, so that was never going to occur. Do you guys have any...
he's the worst player.
Well, speak to me about Tresha, please.
No, I just have one funny thing, because I was telling these guys before the show started, but I played in, I forget what tournament it was, but it was a Russian tournament like a few months back, and Tresha lost to me, and he begged me at the end to leave because he said he was the better player and that he deserved to advance.
That's so lame. Did any of you guys hear anything about what this extortion attempt
No.
was? Or
I just learned about it like an hour ago. No idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I also just learned about it. I have no real thoughts on Tresha other than what were you thinking, really? Like, why would you do that? And the rules for Corrupted Cup, it's like a big deal to do this, because in the rules of Corrupted Cup, it says if you qualify and you have no intention of going, Brain has the authority to just like ban the whole region.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think he's going to do it this time, but like, if he was to ban this region, Tresha's from the Russian region, he would have like the whole region is gone, eliminated. It's like 8 people that had qualifiers. Like, what are you doing, man?
Wait, is that what he did though? He decided he wasn't going to go or something like that?
Well, he said, pay me 20,000, Russian, or I'm not going. And apparently Brain was like, okay, don't go.
That's what he said.
Just bye. But he just banned it.
Like, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, when I read that, I'm just kind of like, is this a joke? Like,
his name's scratched out, dude.
I don't know. It's just like, does somebody actually think this is gonna, like, happen? Or like, I don't know. I mean, maybe there's more to the story. And Russ Brain seems like he's a pretty like funny guy. So like, maybe he kind of condensed it to be like a little funnier. But like, I don't even know if this is like real, to be honest. I mean, I guess he is banned, but like, just seeing that, hey Brain, 20,000 Russian dollars on my account, or I won't go. You have 24 hours to comply. I'm like, who does that? Like, have you ever seen that like happen in life? Like, what, he's just on a Discord, like PM, not even without a gun or something, just like, what?
Yeah. I think that's a perfect time to segue into the mental state of a lot of Brood War players.
I feel like it's even funnier because he is a player that has the random symbol here, and he's in like what is clearly the group of death, in my opinion. So I'm like, well,
yeah.
I mean, did we really need you there to go 0-4? Like, it's all right. So Tresha is out. So do we know if he's being replaced?
Well, they
Oh,
said
no
you
idea.
can buy his spot for $500. But the problem is,
Oh, someone said that. Did they really say that?
yeah, that's what Brain said. The problem is
It's such a
want to
short.
play against them.
yeah, not a lot of people just have a
You'd
visa
you'd have
laying around.
to be from a country that doesn't need the visa stuff.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
There's certain countries where you don't need a visa to go to Russia, but like for instance, mine took 2 weeks or something to process. So
Oh wow.
Right.
yeah, you guys are screwed. You can't go.
Damn.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and I guess start talking about the actual groups themselves here. Group A, Gorinich, aka Not For You. God, this guy is old school. Dandy and True Touch. Talk to me about this group, folks. That is a ridiculous group.
That's a crazy group. Like, I like Dandy and True Touch, but Gorinich always does well. And last season in BSL, he knocked out Eon Zerg, so he could make it out. Dandy could get eliminated.
I thought you knocked out Beyond Zerg.
I got out first in BSL of my group, and then Gorinich and Eon Zerg played the decider match, and Gorinich actually knocked him out.
Okay.
And then Dandy for this current BSL, he didn't even qualify for BSL. I think he was confident that he could wait until the last minute, and he just flat out didn't have enough points to make it in. So even though Dandy's really good, he's going to have a tough time making it out. So I don't know who to favor. Like, all three have really good chances of getting out.
Yeah, I would. Oh, sorry. Oh, you go ahead. Go ahead, Models.
I was just going to quickly say, to me, what's interesting about this group to me is like Dandy's a very fast player, but I always wonder, like, he over time is probably so used to like TR16 or TR14. So I wonder if that, no, I'm not even or 8. I'm not even dissing. I'm just saying that's what you get used to. And then I'm curious to see how that translates to like land setting. But he'll either I think that'll either be better for him or worse. So only time will tell. But I think he's solid in that group, and his TVZ is so strong. Yeah,
that's actually an interesting question about the turn rate thing, because I've definitely noticed that a lot of the time when I hit foreigners, like people from Europe or people from South America, there'll be really terrible ping on the ladder. Obviously, I'm in Korea, right? So the connection is awful. And they actually use strategies like geared for that, where it's dude, I already know the Zealot is coming. Like, it's coming no matter what. Dude, like, it will be a 4-gate and there will be Zealots and they'll just get rallied in. And the thing is, like, just all the builds that I end up playing against from the players that have a terrible connection with me, and obviously a lot of games get queued up against Koreans, are these strategies that won't work nearly as well in good latency. So it's actually a good question you bring up, Models.
Actually, I have something hilarious to add. A friend of mine, he's like he speaks Spanish, and he's very involved in he's in the know in the Peruvian community, and in the Peruvian community, it's its own hemisphere. It's kind of like the Korean scene. It's really huge in terms of like the weird that goes on. And in the forums, there is a dedicated section for lag strategies to do. Like, I'm not kidding. There's a dedicated section on the forums for sure. You're trying to do with flag. Yeah, not joking.
Yeah, I feel like even though he's on our team, Taitu, I feel like Ultra probably wrote it. he just does 2-fact every time we meet, and it's like TR8, and then Dragoons can't touch anything, can't click mines, can't do anything, and I'm like,
I'm actually playing Ultra for like that. What is it? That Titans ring. I don't know how to say it.
Titans Del Ring.
Tennis Del Ring, yes.
Dude, do I have to like pull out some lurker strategies against him? I mean, I can't. Like when I play TR less than 14 or something, like I'm not making a single Mutalisk. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm probably gonna. Well, I probably shouldn't divulge my strategy, but I'll probably make a quick third base.
Just play Protoss, dude. Do PVT.
Maybe I should, right? I should like flip it.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know what?
Yeah. But he'll just two-fact you. So just.
Well, I'll send him two gates.
Well, you don't make a Nexus. What are you doing, Models? You just go 3-gate Goon Zealot and just
I
run
know. I know. I'm an idiot. God damn it.
Oh. And another thing to point out actually about this Group A with Dandy in it, he has to travel from Peru to Russia, and that is culturally extremely different and time zone very different, whereas Gorinich is Russian, and then True Touch is from Poland, which is not, that's not that far away from time zone might be an hour, 2 hours difference, and the foods aren't going to be that different. The culture is going to be a lot closer.
Yeah.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah, when I look at all that, the thing is, in my opinion, there's a few foreigners that I've seen play where I'm like, this person's really good, and Dandy is actually one of those where I'm like, it takes a lot for me to say a foreign Terran player is good. Okay, I have a very high, place that they have to hit. For foreign Terrans, I like Dandy and Nyoken, basically. But yeah, with all those things against him, I don't know. I'm kind of feeling Zerg players here.
Yeah. Actually, my take on this group is that Gornich here is coming in as the underdog, the severe underdog, I might actually say, because this past year I feel like he's just been a very big. He's been a bit of a slump. He's been getting knocked out of these tournaments. He was doing fantastic a year or two ago, but and especially in this group here, he's going up against True Touch, who is, I would dare say, the #1 ZVZ player in the foreign scene right now. He's got extremely good versatility, great timing, and fantastic micro. All three things that Gornich, I feel like, just struggles with, which makes it, that matchup very difficult for him. Danny here, I think he's a fantastic cookie cutter Terran. He excels in the +1 5 racks versus 3 action Malisk scenario. But I feel like with some more unorthodox, cheesy plays, I feel like True Touch can knock Dandy off his pedestal and just take a quick win. But definitely here, Dandy, True Touch are your two favorites here to win this group.
Okay. What are you thinking about that, Nyoken? What's the two favorites for this group?
I'm just reminded of last season BSL when they did the ladder tournaments where I'm pretty sure it was Gornich versus Dandy on some of the new maps. And Dandy, he just looked like he couldn't lose to Gornich. So I like him a lot versus Gornich. Versus True Touch, I agree with what Tai2 said. But the thing is when I play True Touch on the ladder, usually he plays standard versus me also. So I kind of like Dandy versus True Touch. And also I agree with what Tai2 said, where his Zerg versus Zerg is top notch. When I watch him play versus Eon Zerg or whoever in BSL, like this guy's mutas is like, it doesn't get better than this in the foreign scene. So unless he's playing 2-hatch muta every game, I'm still going to like Dandy probably over True Touch. But I agree that it's going to be Dandy True Touch as the favorite, but I wouldn't be shocked if Gornich made it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Models, what are you thinking about the top two for this group?
Yeah, I was gonna say Tresha still, but no, I'm on board with those. I'm on board with those guys. Yeah, it's exactly what they just said, like exact same. Gornich is a really strong player, but I mean, you're against Dandy and True Touch, so.
Okay. So all the Jayan, what is your final take on it?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I agree. I think Dandy's a really, really good player. Like I said, I think he's a very respectable player, like just in all facets. Like he can play aggressive, he can play standard. He's really good. But I mean, in terms of like actual predictions, I'm actually just going to go Gornich True Touch just because Dandy plays True Touch first, right? And then Gornich is, I don't know who he's going to play, or I don't know if he gets a walkover, but he's most likely going to win his first match. And if it's like a Gornich True Touch ZVZ, I mean, it's still ZVZ. So I think the odds, to me, I think Gornich True Touch is going to be a higher chance. But I think like in terms of pure skill, like if it's online, Dandy doesn't have to travel halfway across the world, then probably Dandy True Touch.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on it. I think that Dandy is one of, if not the best player overall. Yeah. So, but yeah, with the traveling and the difference in latency and stuff, I'm not as convinced that he'll be able to just get right out of it. It's gonna, I can imagine that would be very hard to transition into like instant latency, everything moving around. I could, all the timings are different. So
yeah. I wonder if I think he does practice against other Peruvians a lot though. So like, I think
that would be good. Yeah.
But just for most of his ladder, like, but the one thing, it doesn't counterbalance all of that, but he does. I'm pretty sure most of the time when he plays online, he plays from a PC cafe. So he's that won't throw him off. Whereas that's different from most people.
Oh, that's actually a big thing. Like if you actually play kind of live in a PC cafe setting, that can actually give you quite an edge over people that are just used to playing in their house.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that's cool too. So yeah. I bet Dandy gets out of that group for sure.
Okay. All right. good one there. So mostly people thinking Danny and True Touch, but maybe Gorinich over Danny. Poor Tresha. And he never got those Russian dollars either. All right. Group B. Moving on. Eonzerg, Lancer X, Artosis, Mai.
Yeah.
What are you guys thinking about this just killer group?
Well, there's a
Ooh,
clear
I don't
thing.
know Mai. Do you guys know Mai?
No.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know Mai.
Okay.
No idea.
You know what? Is he like, I know like a Manor, you know that Manor clan, that BGH clan or whatever? You guys know what I'm talking about? Manor bracket.
They're not a BJ's clan, but I know who you mean, yeah.
Isn't there a Mai in Manor? Like, I wonder if that's that same guy, but I don't know. I have no idea who he is.
I mean, Eonzerg wins everything.
Does he? Does he though?
Such a strong player. Artosis, I think you'll take out Lancer X.
Oh,
X
you don't have to
is-
say that just because you're on the show. You still
No. I'm like I'm a well-known Lancer X hater. I think he's like the worst. I haven't lost him in like forever. I just think he's so bad at everything.
Okay. Why is this? Why is he so bad?
I
need
like
the
him though.
info.
The
Why
thing-
is he
I
so
like
bad?
him. I like him. I don't hate him. I think he's overrated. But everyone says he's good at lands, but I don't
Alright.
believe it.
Alright.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
It looks like his mouth. It looks like he can't select things. It looks
Oh,
like he's
yes,
trying to
I
grab
know.
shit.
Yes, Lancer X has tons of these like quirks about him that make him so weird. Like you know how he makes boxes. He makes his boxes starting from the bottom left to the top right. So he goes. That's what he does.
Really?
Right. Yeah. And
Yeah,
when
it'll take him like
and then when he re-rallies his gateways, he does it really slowly. He clicks on the gateway and then he clicks on the minimap. He clicks on the gateway, and it takes forever to click on the minimap, right?
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
But he's slow. He's
He's a
slow about
Protoss.
it.
He's a Protoss, and I don't know. There's some ways to do better, but yeah. And I think about Lancer X. I have a lot to say about Lancer X. I think a lot of people have. He has this humongous reputation about being like a really poor player, but honestly, he is such a player who has like such a low floor skill ceiling. But he has a really high, I don't know, skill floor, a low skill floor, and a very high skill ceiling. And I think this is all because whether Lancer X performs well or not depends entirely on whether or not he gives a shit about winning. Honestly, I say that because he's capable of playing so badly, but in like in competitions, like I had him in a show match, he was playing off the walls, amazing. And there are other games where he played against but there are other games where he's hovering like 2K, scanning supply block constantly, and all of a sudden you have like a natural nexus misplaced by one hex. He just plays so badly and so well in other games. And I think in this LAN setting, he is definitely going to be like he's going to be the favorite in Group B to advance first.
Wow.
First?
Wow. Okay.
Easily.
Over Eonzerg.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. That's how good Lancer X is, I feel like.
Oh man. Well, you don't know, I guess.
What are you thinking then, Jayan? With this Lancer X drama going on.
Well, I mean, okay, I played Lancer like 2 weeks ago in BSL, and I think I was just talking to him too. He was not playing at all, and I mean, he still played okay, but he certainly was not in shape. So, we know he's not playing, right? And I've heard the rumors of Lancer X, but
yes, Lancer X.
I'm not just saying this because of Artosis. I honestly think it's going to be Eon. Then I think it's going to be Artosis because I think that your PvP is good. Assuming this My guy is not some secret these goes to or something. I think you should be able to take Lancer. I mean, as long as I don't know, does he play kind of like cheesy PvP? I don't know. Does he, guys?
No, not really. He likes to go carriers though, but he doesn't really have much cheese.
No, I think Artosis could take him. I genuinely think so, unless he just transforms into another animal on an online setting. But I do think it's Artosis, or I guess it could be Lancer. Who knows? But
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Group B, I agree. Eonzerg, big favorite. Especially with two Protosses, he's just really good versus Protoss. And then, I mean, you've lived or met up with Eonzerg, so you know how good he is. He's really good.
Yeah, he's really good.
Current meta for Zerg is his strength. It's two-patch play. So it's going to be really hard, I think, for you, Artosis, if you go up against Ian Zerg, because 2H Muta is just, personally, I think, the best build these days. So it comes down again to Lancer X or you getting out. So of course I'm going to go with you, but Lancer X, when I play him on the ladder, generally he's gateway man.
Oh no, I'm screwed.
He's hit or miss with it.
Yeah, he is gateway man.
There are times that he does get arbiters. I don't think I've ever faced him when he's gone carriers. So me and Model's experience are a bit different. I have to say that when I've played Lancer X on Gladiator, though, that seems to be the map he's pretty damn good on. I don't know why, but it just seems to be the best map for him when I played him on ladder. So if that's a Corrupted Cup map, I would suggest banning that Artosis.
Okay.
Wait, tell me about this whole game. Like, why would it be better or in your favor for Protoss to not go Arbiter?
Well, what are we talking?
Because the Arbiter is the strongest unit Protoss has?
Well, no. I'm saying I thought Nyokin, I thought you were saying because he's gateway man, that's trouble for Artosis.
No, that's good for Artosis. Gateway man.
Oh, okay.
Artosis.
No, I thought you meant it was the other way around. I'm just like, wait.
Gateway man is a clown way to play the game. It's just
exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Gateway man can win. Gateway man is dangerous.
It can win.
Can hit some timings, but Gateway man is more dangerous when he mixes in even just one arbiter and gets off those 6 stasis. Stasis 7 tanks in one spell. That's when Gateway man gets really deadly.
Okay. So overall, we are thinking some combination of those 3. No Mai. We're not going to give Mai any chance in this group.
I guess not.
I don't know.
I have no idea. I mean, maybe, yeah. But...
I think both Protosses don't get out.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. Moving on to Group C. Gag, the Terran player from Russia. Bandy, the Zerg player from Russia. Clickmer, the Zerg player from, is that Uzbekistan or Kazakhstan flag?
Kazakhstan.
It is Kazakhstan. Yeah.
And Oya, the Protoss from Sweden. What do you guys think about this group?
I'm biased again.
Oh, why? Why is this? Who do you hate in this group?
Me and Oya BM really hard. He's probably my most hated nemesis. Yeah, I don't know Bandy. And I always thought Clickmer wasn't that good, but I could be confusing him with someone. So I'll let someone else talk before I destroy all of them.
Okay.
I've played most of the players in this group. Gag, I think. First off, I think all these players, except for Clickmer, because I don't know him, they're pretty evenly ranked, like 2100 range. If I just insulted someone with that, I apologize. I clearly don't know what I'm talking about. But Gag, I played on the ladder. He's pretty good. Bandy, also pretty good. Surprisingly, well, maybe not surprisingly, but when I play Bandy, usually the first 10 minutes goes pretty well for me, but then he kind of just explodes after that. Has like a lot of units, kind of similar to how Jaeyoon just goes ballistic once he gets all his econ going. And then Oya, this guy might be the most aggressive Protoss player I played on the ladder. This guy will 7-gate in the middle of the map. He'll just constantly be in your face, like 4-gate speeds out. Like this guy just all up in your grill all the time. So for me, I would say it's again going to come down to these 3: Oya, Bandy, and Gag. Personally, I like Oya and Bandy just because I've played them more on ladder and they're better at certain phases. Oya in the early game, and I think Bandy is better in the mid-late game.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, like, I agree with Oya and Bandy. I don't really know actually a lot about Gag. Clickmer is kind of like okay-ish. I hear like these more like, I'd say this is one of the more weaker groups in general, and like kind of like a Gosu BSL Gosu League, kind of like as like 2100 MMR, not quite up there, but still pretty okay, still pretty decent.
I think Oya is for sure the favorite to get out of that group. I don't know the other 3 as much. I've kind of sort of seen them. I think I've seen Bandy the most around, but I would agree with what Nyokin said. Oya is like, he's probably the most aggressive pro. Like Artosis, you would hate this guy. You would rage at this guy like really hard. This guy I've seen him go like 7-gate 3 games in a row in a series against the same Protoss, like the same Terran. And even against Surge, like this guy, he goes like 1-gate opening, and then he makes a cyber core instead of a forge, right? Like he doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, and he gets his gas really fast, and then like he'll stay on 2 base and he'll like drop. He just like he will bust you, you know, and like that's his number one, you know, strategy. So I think like if you were ever playing against Oya, like you just, you know, defend, and you know, hope you make it out. But he's also like very good though. He's also like his micro is really solid, and he actually knows what he's doing. Like I think he's not just like he's not like a dumb like aggressive Protoss. He's like it's kind of like a calculated aggressive Protoss. So I think he's for sure going to get out and probably one of the Zergs, but I don't know. It could be anyone.
Okay. Who's getting out of the group models?
I do think, as much as we DM each other, I think Oya is a strong player. Based on my familiarity with the others, I'd say Oya for sure. And then I honestly don't know. It's for some reason I don't know. I don't want to talk about Clickmer because I don't think I know him. But actually, I think isn't he like E rank or some shit? I don't know. Maybe not.
E rank.
B.
Oh, it's like E rank. You have to really try to get E rank.
B. I don't know. I could be wrong. So I'd say him and maybe Gag, just because some of those Russian Terrans are like they got their little builds down. Some like, you know, aggression 5-fact
Russian
stuff.
Terrans are pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know any of these players, so I can't really give any sort of prediction here. Okay. Moving on. Group D. SPX, the Russian Terran. IRK Tokyoa, the Russian Zerg. Yeah. Madinho, the Norwegian Terran player, and Terra, the Peruvian Terran. What do you guys think about this group?
Yeah, I actually played SPX recently in the BSL round of 16, and you know I think you know his TVZ against Tokyo, you know, it's not the best. I think his early game, mid game, I lost to him, but you know his early game. I'm saying it's not good. I lost to him. Okay, but yeah, it's like his early game, mid game TVZ. Like there's a lot of like lack of optimizations, and generally like his supply always stays even with the Zerg supply, which I'm like, what's happening there?
What?
Generally, like he's more like an endurance player, I guess. He can like kind of like go the full marathon here against Tokyo. And Tokyo is like a 2v2 player, so I'm not sure how well he's gonna do. I think he's gonna do like more micro specialized build, like 2-attribute or something like that against SPX. And at Madinho, funny thing about Madinho, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but there's a for the qualifications, there's like a process where you can go for the qualifier if you and you can like win a qualifier, but you haven't like 100% qualified, because what people can do is they can actually like challenge you. You can put up $50, or it's like a bidding process, and if you win the bid, you have the chance to go do a best of 5 against a person who already qualified, and if you win, you get their qualifier spot. So it's a very cutthroat sort of thing. And Madinho had been his quota 2 times, and he defended against I don't know exactly, but yeah, there's been a meme going on like, guys, there's another guy you can challenge. Oh yeah, hello. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I heard that he had defended his spot many times. So
yeah,
that's
definitely
kind of impressive.
That's funny.
Okay, what do you think about this group?
This group, I think clear favorite is Terror. And then, again, it's up in the air for me with SPX and Medinho. I don't know how to pronounce his name exactly. SPX, I played a decent amount with him on ladder recently. I have to say, his Terran versus Terran has gotten a lot better. I don't know about his Terran versus Zerg, but his Terran versus Terran, like it's noticeably better from the past year. And beforehand, I always thought of him as kind of dandy-ish, except Dandy's better. So if SPX can play well offline, I think he should make it out at least in second. I think he can beat Terror too. But if he is not playing well, usually when he's not playing well, he's really not playing well. So it could be he either makes it out in first, or it could be he makes it out in fourth. So yeah, I do like SPX and Terror in this group.
Okay. Models, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I was going to say that as well. I think Terror is a clear favorite. And then I say SPX second just because it's purely subjective for me. But those other guys are, I beat them a lot. I beat them a lot on ladder. But SPX like it will take games off each other. But those other guys, like, I don't know. It's,
okay.
They're both 2 versus 2 players. Primarily.
How are there still 2 versus 2 players when we don't have a 2 versus 2 ladder?
I don't know.
I don't know.
There's a lot of them, actually.
You got to really work hard to do that, though. That's impressive. Any other thoughts on the Group D here? Seems like most people just going with Terror and SPX.
Yeah.
Probably. I can't see. I don't know much about Toki. I mean, I've seen his stream sometimes, but I never really considered him like a top one-on-one type player. So I don't see a world where he's beating SPX. I think Terror is just a really good player, and I think it's SPX and Terror for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I want to interject. I think Madden Ho actually, I think he brings a great attitude to lands. Like, he just kind of shows up. He doesn't he's not like super determined J-Dong killer focus. He's more like, I'm just gonna do whatever I want to do, just have fun with it. And I think that kind of attitude, brings him a lot of success. And he actually beat like a Korean player in the White Clan in STPL. So I think and Madden Ho, he's well known for a lot of very unorthodox, very very fun, creative stuff to just watch. So I actually would say I would put my vote in for Terror and Madden Ho advancing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, poor Tokyo. He's out of here. Group E. DeWalt, the Russian Protoss, Yeti, the Russian Protoss, Bonith, the Polish Protoss, and Hawk, the American Zerg.
Yeah. This is a toss-up. I think Yeti is definitely the weakest here, and I think DeWalt and Bonith are the top dogs, and Hawk is kind of like stuck in between the 2 Protoss there, DeWalt and Bonith.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty hard for Hawk and Yeti. I think Hawk in prime form could go toe-to-toe with both those guys, right? I actually think Hawk is actually a really good player. Especially when he's like active, because he knows a lot of he has a lot of good knowledge of the game. Like, he actually studies it. He plays the correct way and he knows what he's doing. He just doesn't play that much anymore. So, but I think if you swapped Hawk and Yeti positions, like if Hawk was playing DeWalt first, maybe Hawk gets out. But I think Bonith is just going to pick Hawk apart, like especially a rusty Hawk. Bonith completely picked me apart a week ago, and it wasn't even fun. And like it's just stupid the way that Bonith plays. Like, he made 2 gates, he got 7 zealots. I saw it coming. I made nonstop links. He ran into my base. I had a sunken. I had mass links, and then I lost. Like I don't understand the game. Like, I've been playing this game. I've seen this happen, and Bonnet calculates these things. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't just waltz in there and just hopes it works. Like, somehow works. And like, I think Bonnet is just gonna rip Hawk apart. But I guess it depends how much Hawk's been playing. But I don't think he's been playing that much.
Dude, Bonnet's insane.
He
really actually is. Are there any other foreigners that get like 2,500, 2,600?
I don't think so.
No.
Like, I've seen him do it with like 4 losses. Like, and he just faces like top 20 on ladder Koreans and just like 3-0s them. It's so silly. It makes no sense. And his PVZ is pretty insane lately too.
Yeah, he plays like his micros. I mean, it's just on a different. Like, if you actually like study his games, like. Like, to be honest, like when you look at like a PVZ, right? Like, you'll talk about like 2-0 timings, right? And if you look at his 2-0 timing, it's actually not that strong, to be honest. Like, his late game is also like not really that strong. Like, his macro is usually not really that strong if you actually study like objective.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Somehow he just finds a way. I don't know how he does it, but he just uses like 3 Corsairs, like a Dark Templar, and a few Zealots, and like he just finds a way. Like, you see it coming, and he still finds a way. And like, he's just so talented in that regard.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, Boneth is like I mean, there's like a saying, like, you know, like Liquid Drone, aka Erdor, he says about Boneth, like how he is forced to make more Zerglings against Boneth, to defend his 1 gate fast expand than with other Protosses. He just forces him out. His micro is just that good.
Yeah.
And you know, Boneth is just like a good player who really excels when he's dictating the pace of the game. You know, he's just that, and his drops jam, his drops in the game PvZ. He's multitasking. He just he gets back in the game through a bunch of storm drops every time.
Yep,
he's very good about that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't see Hawk winning or getting out. I'm sorry. So it's definitely DeWalt Boneth. I could see Yeti making it simply because it's PvP, and PvP you can have some type of weird timings win you the game, but Boneth and DeWalt are just so good that I just don't see them faltering. Boneth right now is like 90-8 on the ladder. He's the highest ranked foreigner. He's got over 2,500 points. We were talking about who else can reach 2,500, 2,600. The only people I've seen do it is DeWalt, Boneth, Eon Zerg, True Touch. Those 4. No one else comes close. And there's a huge difference between a 2,600 player than there is a 2,200, 2,300 player, which is what I think Yeti is. So unless he has some type of slick timing, like we saw in ASL where like Rain was going for DT sometimes, and then Snow's Observer was out of position, he runs it and kills the probe line. I just don't see DeWalt Boneth losing.
Yeah.
Are these best of 3, these first ones?
Yeah, these are all best of 3.
No, they're best of 1, I think, for 24.
No? What?
I think they are.
I don't think so.
Day 1 is all best of 1 until or round of 24 is best of 1, and then round of 12 is best of 3.
Oh my god!
Well,
are you
if
serious?
if that's best of 1, it kind of changes it a
Yeah, that changes all my opinions. But Boneth still wins. Boneth still gets out for sure.
Yeah,
how did I know that? I have to play in this tournament. I'm flying to Russia for best of 1s.
That's what I was saying. Like when I was like, geez, I'm gonna fly over to Russia if I get in, and then I can get knocked out.
Oh, that's why do people still make best of 1 tournaments?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Now I'm really sad. Anyways, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, since DeWalt and Boneth are clear favorites, you have a different mindset now, because now you're expected to win, and it's best of 1, so you can easily lose 1 game. Whereas Yeti Hawk, they know they're not the favorite. Kind of like when in BSL, people weren't expecting me to win in my group at all. You could see it in the chat, like people were going crazy, like I'd never won a game of Brood War before. So when you don't have any pressure on you, you can you play a lot better when you're not nervous, obviously. So for sure, there could be some kind of crazy upset. Now that I know that it's best of 1, I still like DeWalt Boneth, but it's not like I like them 100% now. Maybe 50%.
I mean, like Hawk could still 3-hatch Hydra. You know what I mean? It could happen. So it's like it's not out of the completely out of the picture. But I think DeWalt. I don't think my predictions change. But of course,
best of 1, as far as I'm concerned, anyone can get out of every group now. I'm like, oh my god, this is so crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
does that mean like whoever loses, are they just out, or is there another bracket? Like
groups.
Jesus
groups.
Christ.
Yeah. No, you're out.
Imagine flying
Those 2
to
maps are done.
Russia to play a best of 1, and fucking Hawk 5 pulls you.
You know, I wasn't afraid of Mai at all until I just learned it was best of 1, and now I'm like, oh, I'm done. That's the shit you can come up with as a Protoss for a best of 1. Oh,
2 facts.
Oh my god. Okay. So Group E, everyone's thinking DeWalt Boneth. Let's go to Group F. The Russian Terran TTF, the Russian Terran Grime Boss. It's a great ID. The Polish Terran Koget, and the Moldova Terran K7 Gladiator.
Yeah, I don't know Grime Boss or K7 Gladiator at all. But I think Koget and TTF.
I remember that name.
Grime Boss is Casper.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that's
Okay.
Casper.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my
Artosis.
god. Damn.
okay.
It's a blast from the past. Why did he change his ID to Crime Boss?
I might be wrong, but I think
I've seen him
Casper,
have the. I
think
remember
Casper's
that
like
ID.
a singer or something now, isn't he?
He
Like
is?
he always talks about Grind Boss. There's stuff on YouTube about Grind Boss. I think that's him. Like he does music.
Oh. I don't know. I would have never thought so, but
Well, in this group, I like Koget and Casper. I haven't played Gladiator, I haven't played Gladiator. Koget is really good. And I played him maybe like 2 months ago, and I don't even think Koget was even playing. And he's just flat out good. Like it doesn't matter if he's rusty, he's good. And he's definitely better than everybody else in this group. So it comes down to TTF and Grind Boss. And Casper, I play him on the ladder, and this guy, just like Oya, he is all about being in your face all the time. If you stop his first attack, you're probably feeling pretty good. Well, you shouldn't be, because he's coming back with a follow-up attack pretty fast. Like, we'll have a vulture fight in the middle of the map. I'll win. I'll lose the second vulture fight because he just didn't stop building vultures. So I think he would be second place, but TTF, just like Gag, very similar, I would say, in terms of rating. So it would be not a surprise to me if TTF made it out. And like I said, I don't know the Gladiator at all.
yeah, I mean, I just
Who is
realized
Gladiator?
group is a Terran. It's all Terran group.
yeah.
Yeah, so it can be anything. I think. I mean, I do think. Well, I guess this group's not so. I mean, I think Group C was probably the weakest. This might be the second weakest, maybe. I don't know, but I think Koget for sure. I don't think anyone is gonna deny that. I played TTF a few weeks ago in BSL, and he was actually pretty solid. Like he was like pretty good. And I know Casper is also pretty good. So I don't know. I can't comment. I think it's just a coin flip between TTF and Casper for second.
I don't even know TTF actually. I don't think.
I didn't either, but he's really old school, I guess.
Oh
But
really?
he was, yeah, but he was definitely solid though. Like, you know, like you can tell when someone's good or not, and he was for sure good.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other thoughts on Group F before moving forward? All good?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Karens.
looking at this overall lineup, first off, who, like, if you guys had like 1 or 2 bonus cards to just put another foreigner into this tournament that you think is missing to make it more epic, who would those players be?
DT1.
Yeah.
TT1.
I like TT1. Like someone, obviously I'm gonna be biased for like DNA scene, you know, like I would love to see like a TT1 or even a Dragon in there. I mean, like I think Dragon definitely could have been, or Tai 2. I forgot Tai 2's. Yeah, yeah, one of those 3 for sure. I think they're probably like the top 3 in the North American scene, and just being able to, I don't know, like. Well, I guess everyone in the chat's also saying now. Okay, Nyoken too. All right, sorry guys.
I guess even seeing Gypsy lose a best of 1 in Russia and start freaking out in Russia would be awesome too. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah. But I actually want to see TT1 though. Like I think TT1's a good player. I think he comes very prepared with his own builds. Like he plays his strategy, and he can make a deep run for sure. I think he could be a good selection there.
Yeah.
I can get behind TT1 also, because even though TT1 isn't very active, or at least says he's not very active, like when he comes and plays, he always hits his macro. He like didn't he recently come back and play Anzerg and win 3-1, and then like he came for NA versus EU and knocked out True Touch. So I can get behind TT1 if we put him into Group A. That would be a nice pick. But I actually would like to see Tai 2 here, because in BSL Tai 2 had this. It's not often you get to see a late game ZVZ. So his current style, or the current build, whatever he's doing, if I could put him into Group A, I would put him into Group A because we get him versus True Touch and Gory Niche, and we would get to see how this ZVZ style potentially plays out. We could have Hive ZVZ. So I would actually like to see Type 2 put into Group A.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Taitu, should it be you in Group A? Who would you put in?
I don't know. I would, you know what? Cadency. How about that?
Oh,
Cadency
Yeah. Seems to be in good shape. Okay. So it seems like it's kind of funny asking you guys those questions because you all name North American players. But anyways,
aren't all the European players already in it?
Yeah, I think you might be right about that because they had so many more spots to win.
I was trying to think of it.
I can't think of anyone big that's missing from the Europe region, right?
I mean, there must be a few.
Yeah, there probably are.
Bakuryu.
Bakuryu's kind of it's unfortunate. Yeah, Bakuryu tried. I mean, he actually. I think he tried twice to qualify.
Yeah,
he did.
I think he made it to the finals once.
Challenge matches. Yeah, both. Actually, yeah, he tried. He was in 2 qualifiers, lost both in the finals, and then he challenged. He did the after qualifier challenge. He put up like, I don't know, $200 or something to do 2 best of 5s, and he just still didn't qualify. So it's a shame.
Damn.
That's how it is.
Put in the effort at least.
Yeah,
and the money.
Yeah. Okay, so that stuff aside, what do you guys think is the top of this tournament? Like, from the first group stage, it goes into 3-man groups from which 2 people advance, and then it will go into a round of 8 bracket. And the 2-man group or the 3-man groups will apparently be best of 3, as the whole tournament should be, and then it'll go into best of 5s in the round of 8. What do you guys think the end of this tournament looks like? Like, do you have a set of 8 players that you're looking at? You're like, well, these ones are clearly making it, or more likely, do you have like a top 4, and who's the best?
I think we see Bonneth buy a new house.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I agree. Yeah, Bonneth's definitely top 1 dog here. I think Bonneth, DeWalt, Eon Zerg, Lancer X, True Touch, Terror, Dandy. I mean, I'm not saying that ironic either. Lancer X, hey, don't rain on my boy Lancer.
Tresha.
Artosis? Maybe Artosis, like, Koget. I'm not sure I mentioned him yet.
Yeah, I think for top 4, you got to go like DeWalt, Bonneth, Eon Zerg, True Touch. Koget deserves to be a top 4, but I don't know how active he is. I don't think he's very active. I am kind of on the fence about Bonneth because I like how Bonneth plays, but there's a point in the game that happens every single time in Protoss versus Zerg. It's when he gets about 3 base, which is about like 13, 14, 15-minute mark. Like once it kicks in, he has a big macro slip, like goes up to 2,000, 3,000 mils. And it happens, it consistently happens. But True Touch and Eon Zergs, I'm not too sure if their best matchup is Zerg versus Protoss. So even though there's this big consistent hole in Bonneth's play in that stage of the game, I don't know if True Touch and Eon Zerg can abuse it. So I like, I guess, True Touch, Eon Zerg, and Bonneth kind of evenly to be a winner. I also like DeWalt because DeWalt, I think, is better in that aspect than Bonneth. So if he was to knock out Bonneth, I would probably favor DeWalt overall to win it.
You're not putting Dandy up there?
Well, I like Dandy for foreigners because he's Terran. He might be my favorite foreigner. Like he's legit good. And for like Protoss, I like DeWalt more than Bonneth, honestly. But Dandy, I just don't think, like Koget, he's as active. If he was as active, I guess it would have to come down if he gets Terran versus Zerg. I like him a lot. If he gets specifically Bonneth, not that I know how, like maybe Dandy has like 100% win rate versus Bonneth. I don't know. But
actually,
from Terran versus Protoss, from my own Terran versus Protoss perspective, Bonneth is really good PvT.
Yeah, I saw them. Yeah, I saw Bonnet like 5-0 him the other day. Well, not the other day, like a month or two ago. But that being said, Dandy's TVP is really strong otherwise.
Yeah, Dandy is good. It's just I don't think he's active or as active these days. Like he doesn't stream as often.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can say he's going to win. I could see him making top 4 for sure.
Right.
I don't know about winning.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, I really like Eon Zerg here. I mean, I think Bonnet is extremely strong, but Eon's also like, I mean, I think Eon and True Touch are like, they're both pretty aggressive players, like CVP, DVT, like they're both good at CVG.
Yeah.
So I guess this could go both ways, but I think Eon he's an extremely like dangerous tournament player because he plays extremely aggressive. Like he's loaded with cheese builds, but he can play like macro. You know what I mean? Like Bonnet, you know, he's just so amazing at what he does. But like Nyokin says, like he does have weaknesses. And if you're missing macro cycles against like an Eon Zerg and your micro might not be, you know, up to par that day, you can't find an opening with like a storm drop, you know, that's going to really tumble on itself. So I do think Bonnet is the favorite, but I'm going to have a plug for Eon.
Yeah. I personally think that, you know, I think that was very true. Like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 months ago where Bonnet was like really susceptible to like losing to really stupid things. I mean, like sometimes like Eon Zerg would win with just 12 lings, but doing a backstab when Bonnet would move out zealots, or other times he would just lose to the first like 10 Zerglings Eon Zerg makes. But I feel like he's a little bit better about dealing with the cheese. But yeah, I do say I do agree that he is somewhat still susceptible to cheese. But yeah. That's pretty much it, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Models, who's your top 4 and who takes this?
Yeah, Bonnet takes it, I think, still. But the point about Eon Zerg, I think, is great. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Eon Zerg took it. So I put him in the top 4 as well. And then if I had to throw in another 2, I mean, DeWalt is strong. So DeWalt, Bonnet, Eon Zerg.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I think anyone could, well, I guess not. They have quite a few rounds to make it through, but it's hard to say, honestly. I don't know if it would be a Zerg or a Terran. I don't think another Protoss would make it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it just comes down to like the brackets and like the groups, to be honest.
Yeah,
like,
that's true too.
To be honest, like even in like ASL or whatever, like if your name's not Flash, like it really comes down to how, you know, how like the luck of the draw comes out. And if you have an easy group or easy bracket, like sometimes you can just have all the good players knocking each other out on one side, then, you know, it could happen. So it really comes down to that.
So it seems like overall you guys are pretty content to call Bonnet the best. Is he just straight up the best foreigner?
Yeah,
I'd
say so.
I think so.
Yeah.
Like he actually micros like a Korean, like on a Korean level. And like other foreigners are like doing things like X% of what a Korean does. You know what I mean? Like other foreigners are like 80% of a Korean. You know, like we'll try to follow what they do, but like Bonnet, his micro is just like actually there with the Koreans, but like all the other areas are lacking. But you know, he can actually like, you know, micro with the best of them in my opinion. Man, not like a pro, but like a really good Korean.
Well, yeah, it'll always be. I've just stopped thinking about it. I used to lose sleep over it, being like, how come it looks like his screen looks like it's moving slow? It doesn't look like he's doing anything, but he'll be like 24,000-2,500 and playing like whoever, a semi-pro or pro. Like,
Yeah.
He took like 4 games off of, I can't remember, but anyway, a semi-pro. And I'm just like, it doesn't look like he's doing anything that fantastic, but I mean, the stats don't really lie.
Yeah.
So it's pretty. I just think he's the most clever player. Like he thinks on a different level about things, and that's why like he can build up a bank of 2,000, 3,000, and you'll go and fight him, and he still has more than you. It doesn't make sense. Or he'll just pick a better battle, whatever it is. Yeah. He just always does the right thing.
Well, it kind of sounds like I would say that if he is going to get knocked out early, it would be that first group, just because it is the best of one, and that is kind of a dangerous group still for a best of one format. Like best of three, it seems like you'd get out. I want to mention that I feel like for live tournament play, I think that Terror has a pretty good style for that. So I'm kind of feeling he might have a deeper run than people think. Like I actually prefer Dandy to Terror. I think he's actually he's my favorite foreign Terran over Terror by a bit, but I don't know. There's just something about his aggressive style that I think can hold up well in a tournament like this, where these guys aren't. This isn't like StarCraft 2, where everyone gets to play lands every month. You know, there's kind of more pressure. There's kind of everyone has less experience with it. So someone like Terror, who kind of keeps the pressure on with his own style of play, I feel like is going to do pretty well here.
Yeah, I was going to give Terror my 4th spot there because I only picked 3. I think. I do think he would. Him or True Touch I could put in my top 4 for that spot. But yeah, Terror. I don't really know his tournament play, but I do know he's a strong player.
Okay. I think that just about does it for the one thing about Boneth, by the way, I do want to mention, because you guys have been talking him up so much. I haven't seen a ton of Boneth play, but Draco, who obviously is one of the best non-Koreans of all time, when he was active again in StarCraft Remastered at the beginning, he was telling me a lot about Boneth and how he thought Boneth was really good. And if someone like Draco is saying, like, for me personally, that's like he gets a free pass to being the best, when Draco's telling me that, like, oh, he's so good and so smart. So yeah, I think you guys have a pretty good idea on that. Okay, so that about does it for the Corrupted Cup group analysis. Thank you guys for all your ideas and opinions on that. I think from there we're gonna jump into our Patreon questions. So hold on one second, we'll get that going. Okay, here we go. Of course, if you want to ask Patreon questions, go ahead to patreon.com/The Pylon Show and sign up. Let's go ahead and ask them. Some of these questions might be about StarCraft 2, but guys, answer as best you can. Sauce King asks, if you could fuse any 2 SC2 programmers together to make the ultimate SC2 final boss, who would you combine and why? Do any of you guys watch StarCraft 2?
I watched for a bit, yeah.
Okay.
I guess.
Let's change this into a StarCraft 1 question for this week. And if you want a StarCraft 2 question, you ask again next week. If you can fuse any StarCraft 1 programmers together to make the ultimate StarCraft 1 final boss, who would you combine and why?
Two players?
Yeah.
Hey, 2 players. I would say you'd combine Flash and then nobody, because anyone would make Flash.
Right. That's good.
Well, if
I want to say Flash and BC, but that's so easy.
I would actually combine Flash and Fantasy, because Fantasy is my favorite Terran ever, even more than Flash. And at the end, Fantasy I think was better than Flash. And their Terran versus Terran at the last OSL, like Fantasy was doing moves that didn't exist back then, like Defensive Matrix. I think even Defensive Matrix the Mine in TVT. I didn't know what I was watching. So if we could combine Flash and Fantasy, I think that they would just be like, that would be actually unstoppable, because Fantasy has all these super clever builds. And then he was also, at least in my opinion, equally as good as Flash.
Okay. You guys have any 2 pros you'd like to put together, maybe from your races, to make a better pro, to make a Flash level pro?
I have one for Protoss. I combine Bisu and Rain, because Bisu has the best PVZ. He has great harass. He has great micro. And you can put Rain in there because he has some of the best mechanics out there. Best macro, great timings, just great armor control.
That's all right. I got him.
Yeah. So Beast and Rain, pretty much.
Okay.
For Protoss, yeah.
Okay. Is there any 2 Zergs we could put together?
I could, yeah. Killer. Killer's my favorite Zerg player.
Hitler.
I love him. I love him so much.
Okay. Well, what
One of my
actually
favorite streams.
Killer.
I guess his macro. I think he's just like one of the fastest pros. At least when I watch his stream, it feels very quick. To others.
Yeah. To be honest, like I'm gonna like fuse 2 players, not worry about race here. I think, to be honest, in any fuse, in my mind, you must have effort in there. I don't know, because like effort's mechanics, like he does the craziest things like a lot of pros do, and he's so comfortable with it. Like, if you see him like even drone microing, it's actually insane. Like his mechanics are so good. And he's got like 500 APM and stuff. This is a weird combination, but I'd actually combine a guy like Effort, and I'd actually combine a guy like Rain, who's ultra consistent and is very, very well thought out and intelligent. And then you put the micro and the mechanics and just with the Effort together and say because I think Effort's problem sometimes is that like he can kind of choke up in tournaments, and I think Rain is like the epitome of consistency. Like he's so good, he's so consistent, he's smart, he's good at everything. But I think Rain can kind of lack a little bit of like that flair that could make him a little more like a Visu.
Good answers. All right, thank you for the question, Sauce King. Broodweiser asks, I come home from a long day at work, turn on GSL, and Time Bones is talking about how many T-Rex pro gamers there were. Tosis, you're the best in the biz. Thank you. Okay, that's not a question, but appreciate your kind words. Hyper Turtle asks, instead of another show match, would it be possible to use the match arena funds to cover the expenses required for Artosis to play through the Legacy of the Void campaign? Possibly dedicate a Pylon show episode after that to discussing spoilers. We can probably do that. Thank you. Again, not really a question. Nahyun asks, what is the Pylon show's equivalent for a $1,000 tier phone call? I don't think that we really have an equivalent for that. I think you guys are missing out on a little meme here. The Tasus podcast, if you subscribe $1,000 to it, he will give you a phone call every month. I don't believe that we have anything like that set up. Sorry, guy, asking the question. Thank you for the question. Lamora asks, do you think there is any chance that BlizzCon will be played on something other than the current ladder maps? People have pointed out that the current selection of larger maps is part of the current advantage Zerg seems to have. Maybe the best of all maps from 2019 seasons instead. Yes, a lot of people are saying that, and but it is going to be the current ladder map pool. That is, they have already announced it and they don't like to change it, so that is what it will be. All right, Alpaca Fury asks, Zerg is swarmy, Terran is scrappy. How does Blizzard describe Protoss, and why don't they design towards it? Should we use Void Rays to scout instead of observers now? No, you shouldn't, but I get your point. There's a new patch coming out for you guys that don't pay attention. A big patch after BlizzCon, and people are upset with the Protoss design choices, basically. But
it's about time.
Yeah, Protoss just gets nerfed all the time in StarCraft 2. It's getting kind of comical at this point. They don't win any tournaments either, so it's like, okay. Saint Zero asks, in honor of the Corrupted Cup and because memes, these are the countries according to Wikipedia represented: Russia, Belgium, Sweden, Norway, Moldova, Kazakhstan, Poland, USA, Peru, Vietnam. I want to say whatever meme or stereotype you think about StarCraft players from that country. Okay. Jesus. I'm going to say a country name, and you guys tell me what you think about the country, like a meme or stereotype of the players, not the country itself, but StarCraft.
Let's get a little dicey, huh?
Yes. All right. Russia.
Extortion.
Okay.
The first
what else
thing
we got
that
here?
came to mind for me in Russia is those buildings with the like circular top. Do you know, like the Tryon? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. What does that
Other
have to
than
do with
that, I don't
players?
know.
But particular to the game,
well,
but
you said
particular
what-
to StarCraft.
Oh, particular to StarCraft?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought just a stereotype about Russia. I don't know. I have no idea.
They're
I
pretty
think
solid. They're pretty
I was
solid,
gonna
to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say kind of aggressive builds, but I don't know. I'll save that for Peru.
Yeah.
The first thing that comes to my mind for Russia, and this is very dated because I don't play with foreigners much anymore, but back in the day, overrated Terrans. Everyone's like, oh, Russian Terrans, they're so great, but really American Terrans were the best. It was stupid.
I agree that now that I'm thinking about it, Terrans come to mind because you had like so many like Advocate, Android, X.
Yeah.
It's just endless on that list.
There's so many Terrans. Okay. How about Belgium?
Eon
Zerg.
Eon Zerg.
Yeah.
There's like
it.
nothing else.
That's it.
I can't even.
Oh wait, Ziki.
Oh, is he
Oh,
Belgium?
he's Hungary.
Oh, he's not. Oh, it's Hungary. Yeah, my bad. Okay.
Wow, those two countries are so different.
Okay, all right. Okay, my bad.
Okay. How about Sweden?
I don't know.
You know what comes to mind for this? Again, it's maybe a little bit dated, but overrated Protoss players.
Who was from Sweden? Or at least
Oya. I think Oya.
Well,
Oya's from Sweden, yeah.
Isn't there Morrow? That's Finland, maybe. I don't know.
I actually can't think of any players other than Nogram from Sweden right
yeah,
now.
Is Avilov from Sweden or Finland?
Oh, he's from Denmark.
He's from Denmark.
Or Denmark.
Oops.
Denmark.
This is kind of a bad look for us. Like these ignorant North Americans.
Oh no, but someone else is from there. Ah, god damn it.
Sweden?
Oh.
Isn't like Kamezerg or
Yeah.
what about who's that Whistler dude? Is he from Sweden?
He's
Oh.
Norway.
No, he's also Denmark, isn't he? Or Norway?
No, he's Norway.
Yeah.
I know the old folks. Sweden used to just be full of Protoss players. It was crazy. Okay, how about Norway?
Eriador.
Yeah, Eriador.
Yeah.
So we just had a USA versus Norway nation war. By the way, like a whole nation war kind of thing it's coming back for Brood War. So, we were able to clutch for USA, but Norway is like usually pretty solid in general. Like Eriador is definitely like that ambassador,
Yeah. And winning against Norway, that makes USA 3-0 in nation wars, okay? Against
Damn.
EU
Guys.
and
Well, no. We had help from Canada.
okay, yeah, right. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
There's
Did Canada play with USA?
Well, there was consonant battles, so we had NA versus EU, and then NA versus SA. And now it's USA versus Norway. So we're
right.
You guys cut models out of the team? Poor guy.
yeah.
Team Canada's back though. We're actually pretty strong, I think.
We'll see.
We'll see. We got some surprises in there too.
All right, how about Moldova?
Oh God.
I actually can't even name who's. Is it K7 Gladiator that's from Moldova?
It must be.
I can never remember anyone from that country from the old days, so nothing comes to mind.
Yep, nothing.
Kazakhstan.
It's that guy we just talked about.
That guy that model said is
Andy or Clickmer?
Yeah, Clickmer.
No, Gladiators from Moldova.
Moldova.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any thoughts on that.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Some of these are hard. Okay, Poland. How about Poland?
Boneth, Poland, or Boneth,
Thinks they're Korea. They think they're Korean. That's the vibe I get.
Yeah.
They're just like they're like, well, I don't want to say like the second hub for StarCraft, because like honestly, StarCraft is big in like China and also like South America as well. But like Poland, the Polish community is like pretty strong. They've always been strong. I mean, I have like a lot of respect for them, because also Zero's from Poland. He's been organizing the whole thing there. So I don't know. I don't have like a stereotype, but
Yeah, they've always been like just a very strong country for RTS games in general. Okay, how about USA?
Yeah.
Artosis.
Yosh.
Yosh.
Did you
Yeah.
say Yosh?
Yeah, I said Yosh. Yeah.
How many years has it been since he has played? Why I
Well-
think of Nyokin when I think of USA.
Well,
Yeah.
Artosis,
What was the original question? It wasn't players. I think we got away from it.
like
All
me.
It's like
I think
meme
of
or stereotype.
BM. I think of
Yeah,
BM.
that's true. That's true.
DM.
Although that's a lot.
Yeah, I think of BM.
Also,
Okay.
Oh, I know what a lot of people think of media, which is USA. They think angry,
Angry
Terran
American
players.
Terrans. Yeah,
True.
That's right.
I'll go with that.
Proud. All right, Peru. Lag comes to mind.
Yeah, like
Unbelievable lag. As soon as I see I'm loading against a guy with the tag bull, I'm like, wow, I'm just going to leave the game and lose 25 points. This is so sick.
Okay.
and also fastest because I play a lot of fastest and they're all Peruvian, so it really sucks.
Really?
Yeah, it's a very strong. Like 90% of fastest players are Peruvian, or Mexico, South American. There's South. I know Mexico's North American.
What fastest map is popular right now? Is it that space one that Flash plays?
They play Koreans all play super fastest, but like in the foreign community, it's just like the regular space fastest. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which is imbalanced, and they admit it. There's leagues, and there's like a decent amount of money in it, but I always try and argue that we should use super fastest because it's fair. But they're like, no, it's part of the game.
It was actually really fascinating watching Flash play against the top Korean guys in that.
Yeah.
Zerg is just not usable, right? You just can't use it.
It's the worst. Yeah. That's why every game you're not allowed to race pick, at least in the ones I play. It's just random versus random.
So whoever gets Zerg is just screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But nothing's ever
Cool.
best of one.
Okay. Vietnam.
My.
Also lag.
I mean, have there been other Vietnamese? I'm sure there have been, but I don't know.
I don't know of any. All right. Thank you for the question, Say Zero. It was hard to come up with some of those countries. Wurzag asks, as a person that does not play StarCraft and only watch it, what would you say is a better way of balancing? Should it be more towards players or more towards watchers? Also, pro players or casuals? I feel like most times balanced discussions are always about what you see in pro play. Now, I know that we don't get any balance patches ever in Brood War, but what do you guys think about balancing a game? Which way should it be balanced?
I mean, this might be a hot topic, but
It is
maybe
a hot
just
topic.
like,
That's why there's so many questions.
I mean, maybe just if I understood the question right, maybe just stick with StarCraft 1.
All right.
Maybe don't
Fair
like
answer.
I was thinking earlier today, they never made like a second soccer.
Like,
You know what I mean?
no, I mean, I think, like, to be honest, for balance in general, right? Like, I'm not a StarCraft 2 guy, so I don't know, but like, it doesn't make sense. I mean, unless like you create a game for the purpose to be changed by viewers, like that's a part of the game. I don't think it makes sense to balance a game based off of what casuals think, because like the beauty of actually balancing a game in like the pro scene is that like you actually see people figuring things out, right? Whereas like the casual is like a lot of times I see even in Brood War where people want balance changes, right? And they have nothing to do with the integrity of the game and everything to do with, well, I'm not good at that, so can you change it so I can be good at this? You know what I mean? Like all the people who complain about things happening in the game are just more for like selfish reasons. Like, hey, like I don't like the way the game is played today. Can you change it to better meet what I want it to be? You know what I mean? Versus like in the pro scene, there's like, at least at a very competitive level, you can objectively make, you know, like good recommendations in a way that actually makes sense. So I don't know. That's my take on it.
I mean, Artosis, would you argue that like the reason Brood War lasted so long, like it's still a competitive game today, is because it was so balanced? I always thought that was a major component.
Well, I think that the thing is, it's like I don't know what to call Brood War, because it's like, is it balanced? Yeah, because all the races can win, but the reason all the races can win is because the skill ceiling is so infinitely ridiculously high that you can improve anything endlessly. So you can just get better than your opponent no matter what. And then when you have most other games, like you cap out your skills relatively earlier, where there's like, you can have small differences between top pros, but
right.
It's StarCraft 1 is just like, it doesn't even matter, you know, how strong a race looks, because you can just get better than that.
Right.
I don't know.
And then just a quick follow-up based on the same, like, has StarCraft 2 already gone longer since it came out with doing balance patches than Brood War did? Because I don't really know when Brood War stopped balancing.
Oh, Brood War stopped balance patches like in
pretty quick, wasn't it?
2001, I think.
2000 or 2001 was our last balance patch,
that's
I believe.
so quick.
Yeah,
that's what's weird to me about. Again, I don't play StarCraft 2, so I have no.
I think we get about 3 balance patches a year in StarCraft 2 right now. About.
Is that not weird for like the competitive scene? I guess it kind of stirs things up.
Yeah, I think that overall everyone's used to it and likes the mixing that it does, how it changes things, and also things get a little bit stagnant where really strong builds get figured out, and then stuff starts to skew like balance wise quite a bit. So it feels like it needs it. It does need balance patches still. I don't think that you can stop like it's been stopping the other ones in StarCraft 1.
Interesting.
I mean, sometimes like you'll see like IMPA strategy used to win a tournament, and then like the week or a month after it gets patched out. That's specific, so it's not doable. Like not so, you know, like a Brood Lord Investor era, for example. So that, I feel like I would feel pretty miffed if I were the second player, you know. But yeah, I think it's a good thing to balance overall.
Would you guys ever want a Brood War balance patch?
Yeah, I totally would, actually.
Bonding pool 50.
I mean, given the right circumstances, but I would not put faith in like Blizzard to do it right, honestly.
What would you want rebalanced?
ZVT for one. I think it is slightly skewed. I mean, it's ever so slightly skewed towards Terran's favor. Maybe rebalance a bit of a PvZ. I mean, I'm not trying to be like, you know, there's that saying like, oh, Zerg is more favored than Protoss, and Protoss is more favored than Terran, and Zerg is more favored than, or Terran is more favored than Zerg. But there's that whole thing. But yeah, I mean, I generally believe in that to a certain extent, and I think that at this point, it's not like a strategical thing. Like, oh, the game hasn't fully figured out. There's still ways for Zerg to turn the tables on Terran. I generally think it's a very inherent thing that needs to be fixed with a dedicated team that will not just drop it after just a year of like one or two balance patches, but, you know, look at it for like, you know, for a prolonged period of time. But I don't think Blizzard. I think Blizzard will, if they were to balance patch it, it would just be like, it'll be like 1 year of like doing some crazy stuff, and then bam, just dropping it, not supporting it anymore, and then the game's left in the tattered state.
I mean, I would say no. I mean, it's almost been this way for like 20 years, and it's still like growing on its own. I think that's the cool. Personally, I think that's the coolest thing about it. Like,
yeah, I would quit if they balance patched it. I don't.
Yeah.
Don't touch this game. It's perfect. Just leave it be.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I probably whine more than all four of you put together. So I don't think
I'm right behind you in a lot of the games. I'm right behind you, mostly with leg. I just lose my mind.
All right. All right. The next question has to do with some of the drama going on with Hong Kong and China and all that. We are not prepared to tackle that subject this week on the Pylon Show. Maybe possibly in the future. I'm not sure. I have to look into it and actually educate myself. So sorry, we'll skip that one this week and ask you. Red Gunner Guy asks, how or what would you consider a great grand final? Watched the GSL Super Tournament finals together with friends for the first time in a while. Game 4 was good. Games 1 through 3 were not. TY versus Hero felt better. What core factors should be present to have a great grand finals? Example of great finals, Brood War and StarCraft 2. So yeah, that was a 4-0 finals. So obviously that was kind of crappy. There was 3 cheeses in the first 3 games. So what can you really do? That just sometimes happens. I don't know how you would ensure getting a great finals. I don't think that there's any way to ensure it.
Well, there's different types of great finals, because you could have finals with the 2 best players, like Flash Jadong, right? Something like that. That makes a great final because you got the best of the best hit squaring off. But then there's other finals, thinking back to Brood War, that were great because you had players like Jelizer with the Mutamicro and the new Defiler play, and you got to see him go up against who back then was the king of macro, I love OOV. So if you had like two of them playing off, it depends on like, is there a meta shift happening? You want to see how the meta shift would go up against somebody like Flash right now. Those are great finals to me. And instantly that's what I thought of was Jelizer killing everybody, Savior killing everybody, and then also finals like Flash, Jadon.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like the top ever finals will always be 2007 Dom OSL between GG Play versus Iris, because that was like one of the first times that a reverse sweep was made, and the fifth including final game was just epic. I need a game that's like a series that's back and forth, has sort of like comeback factor, and it's just a really edge to see kind of series to watch for me.
It was a great series.
Yeah.
Some of your favorites?
I mean, I wasn't gonna go over my favorites so much as like I just want to see. I know Flash is like semi-retired now. I just want to see him and Bisu face off again, like with a best of 7 or something. It would be so fun for me.
It's like we had that hype like 2 years ago, and we were
see it one more time.
So let down by that one. That was like I think I'm already like too hurt from that experience of like watching that Flash versus BC. What was it, in ASL 3 or something?
Yeah, maybe. I don't even know.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, like, to be honest, like, I know there's a lot of great games in the past, but like Flash effort in ASL 6 like a year ago, I mean, that had the formula for like I don't know, like an epic grand finals that you can ever have, right? You have the storyline, you have like two probably among the top 2 players ever. You have Everett beating Flash, like, what is it, like 7-8 years ago, and Flash wanting his revenge. The one guy in history that he needed revenge on. And then you have like the whole 1-1-1 builds that was kind of dominating and stuff like that. So like that series was just full of really great macro games. It was full of exciting cheeses on both ends. And I don't know, I thought that was like the best series ever in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that was a ridiculously good one. I was so sad that was like the one finals I ever missed.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the question, Red Gunner Guy. Alessandra asks, for our last question, who is your Brood War nemesis? And have you exacted righteous vengeance upon them? Oh, models, I gotta know which of these guys could possibly be your actual nemesis.
Dude, my brain went through like a lottery amount of people.
Yeah.
I have so many. I want to think for a minute about who my actual one is. If I have to pick one. Damn. I mean, lately, yeah. Over the weekend, it was Whistler. But I own him. He was talking. I just said like 1 or 2 things, and then he went nuts. So I went nuts. But I beat him. I beat him like 4-1 or something. But he was going crazy, and he thought I was Lure. He doesn't know who I am. Oh, you know who mine is? It's I forget his name. Favorite, the Russian Protoss.
Oh, okay.
He'll be my as of this year, at least over this year. Yeah, he's my nemesis, and then everyone who plays fastest. But yeah, but I don't know, pretty much everyone at this point, man. Except for my squad. Yeah.
All right. Jay, and who's your nemesis?
Like I've actually in the past couple of weeks in BSL and even here at the Africa LAN, Michael schooled me in Zotac Cup, and I was able to get the best of him last Saturday. Although the entire series probably took like 7 minutes, so it wasn't very fulfilling. But I also lost to Gosu Dark in BSL 6. He knocked me out, and I think a lot of people thought I was the favorite. And then I was just like, oh my gosh! And then I was able to get my revenge on him a week ago. And SPX also knocked me out. Well, not knocked me out, but he beat me the first time in BSL 6, and now I have a chance to get revenge in the round of 8. Next weekend. So I would say, I'm on my way to avenge myself. But I will say, one guy who I want revenge on is actually this Tattoo kid right here. He's been a consistent like thorn in my side that I just don't really have like an answer to in the NA scene. Like I think like you got Nyoken, you got Models, you got Dragon, like Sugo, all these. Like I feel like I could compete. Like I think in my mind I see a way to victory, even if whether they're better than me or not. But like for some reason, I just like this Tattoo kid. Like he beat me in NESSL, he beat me in African TV LAN, he beat me in Corrupted Cup, and I'm just like, I don't understand it, And so I'm gonna get this guy one time.
All right. Tattoo, who is your nemesis?
Yeah, my nemesis, closest person to a nemesis would be Dragon.
Yeah.
From Canada. We've actually played a ridiculous amount of times, I feel like, and have played for a really long time. We are definitely rivals, yeah, and I'd say yeah. And I feel like I've exacted my revenge. I mean, I feel like I've been winning most of my games against him recently, like 60-40. Just like very, very slight margin, but still a little bit in favor of me the past, I think, year, I guess. So yeah. That's it.
Okay. Nyoken, your nemesis.
I know who I have in mind, but a lot of people probably think like Tattoo would be a nemesis or Jaeyoon would be a nemesis because we play in DreamHack or we play in other things and I lose or sometimes win, but that's not the case. There will only ever be one for me, and it's going to be Froz. And the reason it's Froz is because me and Froz used to be in the same team. And then he started getting like super well known, and his attitude and personality just completely flipped. So it was like, okay, like what happened? So I got my revenge versus Froz. I won in US Open. I don't know if you were there in 2007, the one that In Control won. I beat Froz and Froz slammed his keyboard. That's probably my favorite moment in Brood War, because if there's any person that I want to win, but I have to win versus Froz. He's definitely my nemesis.
All right, excellent. My nemesis was always Day9. I got some revenge on him sometimes. I beat him in a StarCraft 2 tournament when he was active, and I think I beat him in... Didn't I beat him in like a US Open or something once? I can't quite recall. I don't know. But he went inactive and stuff. So there's no more revenge to be had, unfortunately. All right. Thank you for all the Patreon questions, everybody. A big shout out to all of our Patreons, especially our $100 tier, Astrofin and Mannered. You guys are awesome. Just excellent. Also, just a quick shout out to the sponsors. Please check out matreon.com/The Pylon Show. Use Applejack code to contribute to the prize pool. And if you want to buy any of those cool mugs or hoodies or anything, please go right ahead. Of course, once again, the Patreon, patreon.com/The Pylon Show. This is how we make this show happen. Your continued support is amazing, and why we can have this show every single week, doing all sorts of cool stuff with it. And also, of course, check out thepylonshow.com. This is where you can get everything Pylon Show related, including the show notes, VODs, where to download it for absolutely anything, links to whatever you need. And of course, if you are a patron, you can take part in our forums, which are in the beta phase and will eventually go live for everybody. And of course, a big shout out to the Pylon Show staff. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. So cheers to y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, so this has been a great episode. Why don't you guys tell everyone where you're at, where you can be found, what you want people to check out from you in the future, and all that. TY2, let's go with you first.
I'm sorry, could you say it again one more time? I didn't quite catch it.
Why don't you tell everyone, like, if you have a stream that you want them to check out?
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, come to twitch.tv/BWTY2. I stream there sometimes. Yeah, check it out. That's about it. Yeah.
All right. And Nyoken, how about you? Where can people find more?
You can find me on Twitch TV/Nyoken. I do casting for BSL, so you should check Zero's stream. If you want to meet me in person, you can have the chance not this weekend, but next weekend, because I'm going to the New York City LAN. Should definitely come out there. That'll be fun. So come and meet me there, along with Sugo and Tim and Tai too. Yeah.
Cool. And Jae-yoon. Where?
Right, yeah. My stream's gonna be at Twitch TV/Jaeyoon. I guess you can follow me on Twitter at DJaeyoon. Although I don't post too much, but that's probably gonna be it.
Okay. And last but not least, models.
Yes. Yeah, I don't have a regular streaming schedule, but I do have a twitch.tv/ModelsTV. And if you like Protoss, good Protoss who don't just cheese all the time, you can find me there.
All right. Very cool. Thank you so much, guys. It was a lot of fun to talk Brood War with all of you. Best of luck at your upcoming lands and everything. And that is it for the Pylon show this week. We'll be back next week once I'm back from Cup to Cup. So see you then.
Right. Peace out.
Right. Thanks for having me on.